Thanks, Dan Winnis and Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight because he makes a good living doing stand-up comedy. Dennis Miller watched President Obama's performance last Saturday night very closely.
I went to the opening of the Bush Presidential Library in Dallas. It was a wonderful event, and that inspired me to get started on my own legacy, which will actually begin by building another edifice right next to the Bush Library. Can we show that, please?
All right, joining us now from Santa Barbara, California, is Mr. Miller. He was good. I mean, he could do that for a living, I think. He's got good writers and delivered it well, right?
Well, the thing to remember, by the way, Billy, is the entire Obama library will be in fine print. Fine print.
Yes.
Here's the thing I'd say about Obama. I think he'd be better. I wish we could replace Obama with Craig Ferguson and give Obama his own late-night show, because he's great at that. But obviously, I don't know if he could do a late-night show because he might miss curtain call. You know, you can sleep through Benghazi. You can sleep through the opening of a show. But as I watched all the fawning acolytes in the press corps look up at him, I finally figured it out. He's Frank Sinatra, and the press is Peter Lawford now.
Oh, no doubt about that.
When they're bathed in his reflected glory, they feel like they're players, but when they're off on their own, they're a rather moribund lot. And I'll tell you, Bill, the difference between this man when he's on prompter like that at a gig and this man at a press conference where he's off the prompter, there are people on dialysis who aren't that dependent on the machinery in their life. I was watching that press conference the other day. He was saying, I thought it was Jake LaMotta's nightclub act. But I'll give him this. He's great. He's a great stand-up comic. But as good as he is at that, I think he's as bad as being president. Fine. He's a talented guy. He's a great speaker. Let him sell ShamWows. The country's going to hell.
You know what? It'll be interesting to see what he does after he leaves office. And the illusion in the beginning that you had Craig Ferguson, you want to be president, and you want to switch jobs, and then the president would take Ferguson's late night show. Although Ferguson is a British subject, I think he's an American now, but because he was born in Great Britain, he couldn't be president. I know you know that, Miller. You're just making that because you like Ferguson.
Just a joke, Billy.
Yeah.
Just a joke. I'd like to see Obama as Ed Schultz as Ed McMahon. That's what I'm looking for.
Ed Schultz. So you want the president to co-host with Ed Schultz, who disappeared.
Well, now on the weekend. On the weekend.
No, he's not on the weekend. He's gone.
Slot.
He disappeared.
No, he's on the weekend slot, isn't he?
No, I think he's not. I don't think he's there yet. I heard he got kidnapped by the Kali cartel. Did you hear that?
Well, we can use them out here in Cali because we're falling off into the Pacific.
Oh, and on that note, is there anybody in your body struggling to get out? So I can tell Kirsten Powers. Is there anything in there? Anybody struggling to get out of the Miller body and that maybe Philadelphia want to pay for?
There was a weekend in the past I was struggling to get out of Philadelphia, so I do remember that.
Going like that. All right. Miller is, you might know, is a former host of Monday Night Football, color guy there. Tim Tebow, big star, transcends football, made a lot of headlines in his religious and conservative viewpoints, and he's been cut by the New York Jets. And the Jets are not exactly a powerhouse, Miller, so I don't know what this message is now if you're cut by the Jets.
Well, he doesn't he doesn't go above football. You get whacked in football if they don't think you got skills. I'm fine with that. I think they should have played him one game last year, because when I watched Sanchez played, I thought there was no God, for God's sakes. And I think this is Woody Johnson. I think this is a limp play by Woody. You got Santonio Holmes on your team, and you couldn't give this kid a shot. Holmes won't even go into the huddle, for God's sakes.
No.
Now you got one quarterback who would turn the other cheek, and you've kept the quarterback who would tackle himself by running into his center's cheek. And, it just seems a little uncomfortable to me. I would say this to Tim Tebow. Godspeed, my friend. You're a class kid. I admire the way you handle yourself. If it's not football for you, it's something else.
I think he's going to get a job. He did well with Denver. I think he'll get a job. It'll just matter. But I agree with you. I would like to see what he can do.
John Fox had to flip the whole thing upside. Listen, I love Teebs. Put him at H-back like Jimmy Kleinsasser. Tell him to add 20 pounds and just start rocking people up the middle, leading, the backs into the holes. But I don't know. Maybe he's not that great a thrower. But I'll tell you what, This kid's a mensch. He's been good for the kids in this country. And every time I see him, he's with a kid who's about to die within 2 months. God bless you, Tim Tebow.
All right. You know, we like Tebow. All right, finally, we only have 30 seconds here. Miller is a real estate guy, has a bunch of houses. But when you sell your next house, Miller, you cannot describe the main bedroom as the master bedroom anymore. It's politically incorrect.
Yeah, it has to be the owner's bedroom, right?
Right, the owner's suite.
Well, to me, this is so much mental ownerbation, you know? I'm getting sick of PC, for God's sakes. Obama's living in the White House. Is that PC in the day we live in, huh? And by the way, to Jason Collins out there, the gay kid, I'm happy for you, brother, but you might want to keep that Christian thing. You might want to stay in the closet on that one. That might catch up to you.
Yeah, we haven't covered that because we feel that everybody's personal life is their personal life, you know, and the basketball player is
Billy,
happy
fine,
the way he is.
Okay, we don't have to be pristine. I'm saying he said he's gay,
yeah,
and he said he's a Christian. I'm telling him to sit on the Christian thing because that might come back to bite you.
All right, Dennis Miller.